Helmets, the most prominent and most protective part of the racer's clothing, which protects the driver from particles present in the air, and also gives the best protection to the driver's head from any accidents and injuries. In the early days of racing, drivers tied cloth or canvas over their faces to keep the insects out of their hair. In 1968, Dan Gurney introduced the full-face helmet to Formula One. Although he was not the first to use a full-face helmet in a racing car, his protege, Swede Savage, an ex-biker, did so in 1967. When he wore it for the first time at the Indy 500 in 1968, Gurney was one of those who brought the design to everyone's attention. We are all aware of the fact that traditional helmets have made advancements over time. Similarly, Formula One also made a lot of progress. Today in this video, we're going to be talking about how F1 makes driver helmets. F1 helmets have different variations. This company is well known for its advanced technology, also regarded as the crown of motorsports. Everyone is aware of or has heard of this championship. When we think of Formula One, we never pay attention to helmets. Helmets are only considered an important safety measure. We don't waste any more time thinking about it. On the contrary, the helmets used in motorsport, particularly Formula One, are an exciting subject to investigate. Formula One helmets prioritize safety, capabilities, and limitations, and also aerodynamics. The purpose of this helmet is to direct airflow through some mini spoilers into an airbox just above the driver's head. Therefore, F1 came up with carbon fiber and glass fiber helmets. The glass fiber technology helmets are considerably firmer than steel helmets. A glass fiber helmet is more aerodynamic and provides more facial protection to the driver. The aerodynamic nature of the helmet also protects the rider's head and is also resistant to air. However, these helmets have fireproof innings in their innermost layers. Also, an air supply system is built into the helmet that triggers when the fire extinguisher activates. Radio systems installed in the helmet make communication easy for the drivers during the race. Apart from this, every F1 helmet must include a HANS device, due to the G-forces experienced in corners, similar to those experienced by fighter pilots. This device protects the driver's neck and head from injury. Helmet designers must also include helmet ventilation change options, along with space and openings to allow a straw to reach the driver's mouth for drinking during the race. Finally, there are 4 transparent, tear-off sheets, 3mm thick, covering the visor, and can be removed by the drivers if they encounter too many particles that block their vision. We can adjust the tint in fractions of a second to adapt to extreme changes in light. Next, we have carbon fiber helmets, introduced in 2001 and considered stronger than glass fiber helmets. Although these helmets are relatively heavier than glass fiber ones, the reason behind this is that there are 17 layers of high-density foam, which is just beneath the carbon fiber shell. After years of research and development led by the FIA Institute and leading helmet manufacturers, the FIA prescribed 8860 racing helmet has reached such a high point. This season, all 8860 helmets will include a new refinement: a Zylon strip across the top of the visor, which will significantly improve protection in one of the helmet's unavoidably weaker areas, the visor, and a polycarbonate medium that isn't as strong as the overall shell by necessity. Zylon, a synthetic polymer, is already used widely in high-profile applications, like ballistics-resistant body armor, snowmobile drive belts, and racing yacht rigging. It is also a material familiar to motorsport engineers since 2007. Apart from that, F1 never compromised on its comfort and fittings. In this way, they are better at dividing the load when there is a collapse. Now, when we talk about the safety of these helmets, all helmets must undergo stringent safety tests. A protective helmet must be certified to one of the FIA standards listed in Technical List number 25, approval at the time of submission. So, after more than years of research, Formula One's governing body recently announced the innovative new design, with the Ultra Protective Helmet. It offers several vital safety benefits, including advanced ballistic protection and increased energy absorption. This new standard, known as FIA 8860 2018, will be used for the first time in F1. After the Halo cockpit protection system, it is mandatory for this season to reduce the risk of injury from debris or other objects striking a driver's head. It is critical for all our safety research that we strive to improve regularly. This is why we require all manufacturers to comply with this standard. Keep in mind that if you buy a novelty helmet that lacks any of these safety ratings, you may look the coolest, but the level of protection you'll receive in the event of a crash will be minimal. How cool are you going to look at that point? So, why aren't all helmets Snell certified, if so many manufacturers claim to be the best? To read and find a helmet's standards, year of manufacture, look for a sticker on the back of the helmet, a label in the crown of the helmet, a label sewn into the chin strap, or a label sewn into the padded inner lining. Each standard or certification governs the specific placement of the sticker. What can you do if you own a helmet that lacks a manufacturing date or a standards number, for example? Remember that it is your responsibility to demonstrate the helmet standard's authenticity. If you're unsure, contact the helmet's manufacturer and request documentation. We have heard all about Snell, but what exactly is it? The Snell Memorial Foundation, SMF, is a non-profit organization dedicated to helmet safety research, education, testing, and development. Each racing vehicle segment has its own Snell standard rating. The standards you'll come across are for automotive and motorcycle racing, M2005. We determine ratings by a battery of tests performed in SMF's cutting-edge testing facility. Impact, positional stability, dynamic retention, face shield penetration, flame resistance, and include tests. Helmets that have managed to pass the Snell certification test, a chin impact test is also required. Do you ever wonder what other protocols follow to test these helmets? Well, these helmets impacted with a 3 kg steel spike dropped from 3.3 meters above the surface. These polycarbonate helmets are typically 3 mil thick. They test by shooting a lead pellet at speeds of up to 500 kilometers per hour to keep the driver's chin strap firmly in place. For testing these helmets, 38 kilograms of weight is put on them to guarantee that they don't come loose in the event of a high-velocity crash. When testing, we can stretch the straps to a maximum of 30 millimeters. Isn't this so interesting? Well, there's so much more. To push the helmets to their limits, they heat 700 degrees Celsius on the outside. The temperature inside the helmet should not surpass 70 degrees centigrade. This all initiated after American racer William Snell died in a car crash due to his helmet not being strong enough to protect him. After this tragic event, they established a testing organization. Another important standardization came into place in 1994, after the death of a Brazilian racer from brain injuries in an accident. The FIA enacted the strict standard of 8860. In the case of this crash, the 2004 rules also required the use of straps to prevent the driver's head from being snapped forward. To take a note of the driver's hearing, the sound level inside the helmet must also be less than 100 dB. It really is as fascinating as it sounds, right? Helmets that pass these tests are considered ultra protective in all types of racing from 2019. These helmets provide enhanced protection, such as increased ballistic protection and improved energy absorption, making drivers safe. The FIA rules resulted in more than a decade of research into making motor racing as safe as possible. The FIA collaborated closely with the Grand Prix Drivers Association, Formula One teams, and helmet manufacturers during their investigation. Today, every helmet in Formula One and every other high-level class is custom-made for the individual driver. They scan the driver's head to create a life-size model, and the model head is then wrapped, layer by layer, with 120 mats of high-performance carbon fiber T800, with each thread containing approximately 12,000 microthreads. The 3D digitizing system records the shape of the driver's head for tailor-made manufacturing. The result is a polygonal network that accurately describes the shape of the head. The helmet is then built around the digitized head using CAD. What a discovery! That is a whole lot of advancement in such a short amount of time. No wonder F1 is so well liked in the range of helmets. Each helmet is spectacular in design. So, that was it for today. Take care and stay safe. What was the most interesting thing that you learned from today's video? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed the content or learned anything new, then a like will be greatly appreciated. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video.
Listen.